Want to take attendance, Chief?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. Calling the meeting to order, 4:35 p.m. In attendance is Mayor DeStefano, Commissioners Vignola, Rodriguez, Sullivan, and Mills, and I, as the Secretary, are present. So we have a full commission this evening. Commissioners, I'd be asking towards the end of my agenda a request to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters as well as to conduct interviews for the position of lieutenant. I don't have a tremendous agenda today, being that we do have interviews. I was trying to keep it brief. As far as communications, I do have one to share. It recently hit the media the last day or so, I think 2 days ago, in regards to an incident that occurred in March of 23, right on East Main Street, where a resident assaulted one of the people going into the grocery store. He was just pled guilty and is expected to be sentenced to 6 years in prison as a result of that. I can pass that around.
Has he been incarcerated since, Chief?
I believe so.
Yeah. So he'll get time served on that and all?
He will get that year or so, and then there's post-release supervision. He hasn't not been sentenced yet. That's just the anticipated
Right.
or expected sentencing. I'd like to see a little bit more for
I
what
was
he
going to say, it
did.
seems a little light for what he did.
For what he did, yeah, it's
Agreed.
doesn't seem to be justice, but I did forward the commission the minutes from the February Police Commission meeting as well as the minutes from the March 6th special meeting. February minutes, if the commission would like to discuss them at all in the February meeting. Good.
Motion to approve.
Being no discussion, if I could have a motion to accept them as written. A motion by Commissioner Mills, second by Commissioner Rodriguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Appreciate that. And then in regards to the minutes from the March 6th meeting, that meeting went directly into executive session, so there wasn't much of an agenda there. What I did document is the votes that came out of the executive session. Would the commission like to discuss them at all? You would?
No.
No?
No.
No. If I could have a motion to accept them. Rodriguez. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Appreciate that. In regards to some statistics, I was able to get our monthly yesterday afternoon. I will forward that out to the commission. For the month of February, our call volume, we handled 2,561 calls for service, which, believe it or not, was the exact same number of calls that we handled in January. That might be the first time I've ever seen that happen. So there's 0% increase. Obviously, February is a little shorter by 2 days. Part 1 crimes, for the month of February, we did see a slight decrease over the month of January. In February, we investigated 46 Part 1 crimes. Out of that breakdown, 14 classified in the violent category and 32 in the property category. Out of those 32, 30 were larceny related, still driving our numbers, in comparison to January, in which we handled 54 Part 1 crimes. Part 2 crimes for the month of February, we investigated 181 crimes in comparison to 198 in the month of January. So again, there's a slight decrease. As far as arrests for the month of February, the department made 201 arrests, which was a slight increase over 195 made in January. Pretty good, little decrease in actual crimes and a little increase in arrests. Shows that the officers are working. Traffic summons for the month of February.
Robbery, 6 years.
507 issued in comparison to 430 in January. Parking tickets for the month of February, there was a decrease. We issued 531 in comparison to 1,103 in January. Uses of force for the month of February, we saw a pretty big increase here. We've been running about 5 or 6 per month. In the month of February, there were 12 incidents that ended in resulted in a use of force, which equates to just under 6%. It's 5.97% of total arrests. In regards to shots fired for the month of February, we investigated 2 reports, one of which was founded, one was unfounded. The one that was founded was on Erie Way on February 7th. No one was struck to our knowledge. We are actively working that, and it may be tied into another situation that occurred this month, which I will brief the commission on in executive session. Any questions, thoughts, concerns, discussion in regards to statistics? Would you like to drill into them any more detail? Staffing. Currently, as we sit today, I have 2 vacancies on the roles. We have 73 sworn personnel currently today, budgeted for 75. Out of those 73, I still have 1 on admin duty, which I could go into a little bit more detail in the executive session about that person. I have 1 still deployed on military leave. I have 5 currently in field training. Our 4 recent graduates of the academy, and then Officer Barclay, who came to us from the town of Warwick, who just began his career with us a few weeks ago. And then I have 3 that are currently suspended. Additionally, in which I'll get into the details of that in executive session to talk about that in more depth. Just yesterday, Officer Micah Rupert came in and spoke with me. He's actually going to resign from the department effective April 8th. He has been offered a job with the New York State Police, so he'll be starting the New York State Police Academy on April 8th. Sat with him for some time, talked about his decision. He definitely put a lot of thought into it. It's not a knee-jerk reaction to anything. He's very happy with the police department. He actually sent a nice email out to everyone. I could pass it around or I could read it, whatever you would like. I'll read it real quick. This is something he put out to the whole membership after him and I spoke yesterday. Very brief, but I'm going to make this short and to the point. Before rumors and speculation circulate, I've been offered a job by the New York State Police and have decided to take it. I will be starting in the beginning of April. Although I am leaving, I still believe that MPD is a great department, one of the best in the area, and I will miss you guys, working with you all and the personal friendships that I formed with many of you. I'll hopefully still be around in the area after the academy, so I hope to stay in touch on a personal, professional level. Please feel to reach out for any reason. And I think that kind of sums up his conversation with me. He was very happy to work with us. He likes the opportunities. And when speaking to him about his decisions, financially they do make a little bit more money, more opportunity, larger department, but nothing specific. He had nothing negative to say. And we sat and we talked for some time yesterday. He will be missed, but I definitely wish him the best in the next part of his journey. So that would give us an additional opening. That would bring us down to 3 openings after he leaves. I do have 1 candidate. I mentioned this candidate in our last meeting for the position of police officer. He's a certified police officer. However, he's in that 3-year commitment phase, which will conclude mid-May. I believe it's 18th or 19th. So if the commission was open to that, I could present him to the commission in either our next meeting in April or the May meeting, whatever the commission desires. And then this evening, I have 3 candidates for lieutenant to present to the commission for interview, as we currently have an open lieutenant's position. If the commission chooses to make one of the persons this evening from sergeant to lieutenant, that would open a sergeant's position. I know we did discuss about doing them all together. I can explain that to you also in executive session as to what happened there, why I chose to split the lieutenants and the sergeants. Logistically for you, it's less time to be here in one night. We'll spread it out over time. But there's a couple things I'd like to discuss in regards to that. But I'm hoping that the commission be looking to assist in filling that position either in April or May. Due to our vacancies and our continued hiring and so on, we are going through our candidate list fairly quickly. I have worked with Civil Service to get another physical agility in April for both our bilingual and our non-bilingual group of eligible candidates, but we're getting to the end, so I did seek and ask Civil Service to schedule us for another police officer exam in 2025.
Can be in the fall?
I think this next group will get us through the fall.
Okay.
I believe so, but I think that'll put us right on track. That we'll have a pool, I'm hopeful. Hopefully, I'm making the right decision with that, but, so I did ask for that, and Mr. Massey's gonna get us on the list. Any thoughts, discussions, comments, concerns in regards to staffing? I'll just read through some of the trainings that the department participated in during the month of February. Facial identification comparison training, use of force instructor refresher training, instructor development, street surveillance techniques, field training officer both as instructors and as students, driving simulator instructor, virtual NIBRS training, leadership series training, consensual encounters course, less lethal munitions course, rescue task force awareness training, alert, which is active shooter training. This is something we do every year during that winter break at the school. We send half the department each year during that week-long course. So every year, you know, a portion of the department, every other year at least, everybody's getting a refresher.
You do it at the high school?
We use it at the high school, yeah. We like to start branching out into some of the other buildings.
Is
though.
it like sim guns or?
Yep. Full from start to finish, starts with, you know, refresher and all the techniques and terminology and tactics, turns into actually reality-based scenarios where we have staged, for the lack of better terms, role players, bad guys, like within the building. So each scenario is a little bit different, and the officers have to work their way through it with response stimulus. Like if they don't make use the right tactics and decision-making, there's a response. It's very, very effective. Like a lot of our young guys, especially young guys and girls that come from other departments, are like, this is amazing. We haven't had this. So it's a great investment. We appreciate that we have the support to do that. We also did preparing for mass casualty event and creating donation management plan training, property and evidence room course, Faro. Faro is a piece of equipment that the city afforded us the opportunity to purchase. It's like a 3D imaging equipment that we use for crime scenes and accidents, so they continually train in that. That's what we did for the month. In addition to in-service training, which it was CPR AED, workplace harassment, PPE, refresher course on taxi enforcement, and a refresher course on wellness and suicide prevention. In regards to grants, we are still working. I know I mentioned some of these to the commission previous meetings. We are in the process of working with our vendor on a $300,000 COPS equipment grant in which we want to add additional cameras. And through Senator Skoufis's office, we were awarded a $150,000 SNUG grant, which is violence elimination. And we're working with the school district and some other partners in putting together a budget and platform for that. Moving forward, the last meeting we did table this. I'm not sure if the commission would like to address it at this meeting or if we want to table it or whatever the commission chooses. But I did forward the commission a total of 4 internal investigations for review. I don't know if the commission's had the opportunity since our last meeting to review them or not. That'll be up to you as a commission.
Good.
We could table them, or if you want to address them.
We're all good.
Good. As written.
Yes. Yes.
So out of those, and I'll read them in just to the minutes, well, I'd be looking to for a motion then to accept these 4 internal investigations as written. One would be related to ladder number 22-10975. That was an alleged injury by a defendant through investigation that was determined to be unfounded. Next one would be ladder number 22-734, which was an injury sustained by officer and damage to a police car. After investigation, it was determined no violations of policy. Ladder number 22-22727, injury sustained by a defendant. After investigation and review, no violations of departmental policy. Ladder number 22-26673, an injury sustained by a defendant. After review and investigation, no violations of policy. So if I could have a motion to accept them as written. I have a motion by Commissioner Sullivan, second by Commissioner Mills. All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I do have about 15 more to push out to the commission, but I'll do that in the coming week or so. And then I do have the final adjustments to the new policies or the updates to the policies. They were just provided to me by Sergeant Regino, so I will push them out also to the commission for review. And just as a reminder, any of the changes will be in a different font color so that you can see in your eye will go right to those changes. And then obviously, and as in past, if you have any questions or concerns with any of them, by all means, please reach out to me. That is all I have on my agenda this evening, unless the commission has something they would like to discuss. Questions, concerns, thoughts?
Anything going up for spring and summer
Such as what?
initiatives? Like anything you planning? for your,
Like outreach.
yeah.
So we do have our youth police academies. We're gonna do 3 of them this year. They've been advertised. We just did start another youth leadership academy this month. We'll do our outreach barbecues, events, you know, obviously the road races that we participate in, Tops and Kids Field Day, like our typical events we plan on continuing to do. Most of them, we have some funding now from Orange County Youth Bureau, who after they've realized over the last couple of years, like the amount of stuff that we do, they've been funding some of it for us, which is nice. And we're always open to ideas if you have an idea. Any other? Silence, quiet in here tonight. It's, being no further discussion, no one in the audience, I'd request that a motion move into executive session for personnel matters.
Motion.
I have a motion, second by Commissioner Mills. We'd be moving into executive session as of 4:51 PM for the purpose of personnel matters and interviews.
Please be advised this ends the public portion of today's meeting. Thank you.